Hey guys, Shane Wood from Port Orchard Ford, and I'm back for another episode of Hey Community, Let's Meet Your Community. Now I'm down here at a business, and this is the type of business that I don't usually do because, let's be honest, they're boring. But hey, listen, I'm down here at the Thompson agency. Victor Thompson runs and owns this Farmers Insurance right here off of Bethel and Sedgwick. And listen, if insurance is one of those things that all of us have to have, then the biggest difference maker has to be who are you getting it from, and are they honest? Do they have high levels of integrity, and are they really going to try to help you save the most money? Let me introduce you to the man who will. Come on inside and follow me. I'm down here, I'm with Victor Thompson at your agency. First of all, I just want to say thank you for letting me come in. And
absolutely.
Yeah, I've known you for a long time. We mix it up at a lot of different groups and stuff. And I'll be honest, I've never done or haven't thought of doing insurance yet on one of these videos because, like I said out there, it's kind of boring, right? We all have to have insurance. But the more I thought about it, I thought, you know, the difference maker in insurance in my eyes, and I think the same thing about cars, being a car guy, is it's not necessarily always the product, but it's the who. Who can you call? Do they have high levels of integrity? Are they good at what they do? All of that. So that's why I thought you would be a perfect video for us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So so tell me, Victor, how did you get to insurance? That's what I'm kind of interested in.
Well, it's actually kind of a funny story. As you know, I was in the car business for years. And one of the hardest parts about the car business is getting out.
Right.
You know,
yeah, that's true.
Breaking free of that chain and finding a way to go somewhere else. And I had been pursued for many years by insurance companies. So I finally decided we needed to be close to our families. So we actually I studied for 2 years to actually be a State Farm insurance agent.
Wow.
And went through all their hoops, did everything, went to the final interview, sold our house in Mill Creek, moved over here, had a lease ready to go in Silverdale, and they said, "You're exactly what we're looking for, just not yet."
Whoa.
So it was kind of like this big, huge blow because here we were all ready to go, and I'm working in Seattle,
right?
Commuting from Port Orchard to Seattle every day. I'm like, what am I going to do? And then the other half came home and said, "Hey, you know, Farmers has got an ad out for agents." And I'm like, it can't be that easy. And I went and I hit, and next thing I know, I was an agent in less than a week.
Wow.
With Farmers Insurance.
Wow, that's crazy how that worked out, huh?
Yeah, and it's like we didn't even know what I was going to do at the time or where I was going to open. She just like, oh, "You're licensed? Oh, you're in."
You're in. Yeah.
And my head was spinning.
Right.
So
biggest difference between cars and insurance, like obviously two different products altogether, but you still have customers coming in to see you for something that they need. I guess the real question is, what's the most fun about?
You know, one of the things that I really loved about when I was in the car business is you were helping somebody succeed in getting something they wanted.
Right.
The biggest difference between cars and insurance is here you're helping somebody get what they need,
right,
and what they're required to have by law. I think one of my biggest things in what we do here, and this was my point of integrity, it's not so much about the volume as making sure that we're taking care of the customer. It's not just checking that box to get it done. Because a lot of people go in, and I've seen it. I mean, I've been doing this now 6 years, where people come in, and you can see where their agents literally have gone in and checked the box for what they thought was appropriate, and they're not adequately covered.
Right.
So it gives me the opportunity to actually sit down and educate people about their insurance, because I want them to know what they've got.
Right.
I want them to know what they're covered for, so that when something bad does happen, we don't have a bad conversation. I hate bad conversations. You know what, like putting fires are out. Like.
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting. So here's a question: can you be overcovered?
You can always be overcovered, but then if it's there when you need it, you're not overcovered.
That's right. Yeah.
So it depends on what you're looking for. I mean, if let's say you're a person that owns a house and you've got a couple rentals, you've got a business, you've got several cars, and you've got children, okay? Do you really think you could be overcovered? Right. Because if let's say a kid gets in an accident and hurts and kills somebody. Okay, let's say worst case scenario here, all of a sudden everything you have is exposed and you could lose it all. So that's the point of, are you truly overcovered?
Right.
So, it's having the time to have an agent sit down with you and go over financial analysts and financial risk of what you're actually needing for coverage.
Right.
So you can be overcovered and then you can be undercovered. Unfortunately, being next to the DOL, we see a lot of people come in and get undercovered because they just have to have insurance.
So let's talk real quick about products that Farmers has. Automotive, obviously, house, home. Do you get into motorcycles, boats, and all that stuff? Like, what do you do?
Do everything.
Yeah.
Literally in 6 years, there's only been 5 policies that I've not been able to write. And it was just partially because I didn't want to write them, because there was just something like not quite there. Or one was a 150-foot tugboat, vintage tugboat trawler. So it was just a really kind of oddball. And the insurance companies that would write it wanted to make sure that they had all this coverage and, inspections, and it was just too much.
What about umbrella stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I recommend them on everybody.
Tell me why a person like me would need an umbrella policy, because I feel like this might be one of the least owned but most often needed. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's a couple different things that happen when you get an umbrella, and because we live in the Pacific Northwest, I love to talk about it because people, they just don't understand what it is. So it's like when you're going outside on a rainy day, you take an umbrella to do what?
Cover you.
Cover you and your assets, right? And if you're walking next to your wife, you're covering you and your wife, right? So that umbrella could be a golf size umbrella, and it can cover several different things, including your golf clubs.
Right.
So it's basically, an umbrella does that exactly. So it covers everything you own. It covers your home, your autos. If you have a business, you have a separate umbrella for the business, but your home, your autos, your kids, your toys, your motorcycles, your boats, your rental coverages, even your, there's a special place in it for timeshares. We just did 2 timeshares on it. So, because they're kind of a little bit more difficult to insure because you're insuring a week block of time during a year, but you still have a vested interest in this place. One of the things that a lot of people don't understand when they look at an umbrella is and I always tell everybody, don't do this. You're covered for, but don't do it. Defamation. So if
like
under
lawsuit stuff?
Yeah, so if you're in a standard policy or homeowner's policy, you're not actually covered for defamation of character unless it's a named peril. And most of the time it's not, because insurance companies don't like that.
I see.
But they put it in that umbrella, and then so what the umbrella does is it extends your conditions of liability. So like on a standard policies, we have what's called 250-500. So you have $250,000 in liability coverage, $500,000 per incident.
Right.
Okay. So you can add up, we usually start at $1 million umbrella, and you can go up to a $10 million, and we've even done a $30 million umbrella depending on the actual assets that you're covering.
Right.
So then basically what it does is, in the event something tragically happens, or you really tick somebody off on Facebook, and they come after you, you're not, as one of my favorite customers says, I want to make sure that I am covered for all aspects. So if somebody sues my butt off, then I've got it covered.
Wow. Yeah, that is a very important thing. I was actually just looking into one. Maybe you can help me. Or
Absolutely, it's pretty easy.
I'll tell you one thing that also drew me to you is, it's very important to me to be a part of this community in a way that I'm helping push it towards whatever its greater version of itself is, right? And I don't decide that, but I want to be a grunt, behind the train helping push that thing. So I obviously sign up for all sorts of different things, and I feel like every time I sign up for, chamber, well, you're the president of our local chamber. I signed up for Rotary. I go down to Rotary, my first meeting, there you are. All of these different groups that I'm so grateful to be a part of, you're right there, and I dig that. What has motivated you or inspired you to be such an integral part of this community?
I've been a businessman for years, and even in the car business, you're a businessman. You're always you're a salesman, you have to be a part of it. Well, when we decided to move over here from the Mill Creek area, I'm a retread from this area. So I grew up in Mason County. Every summer we had a summer house down there, and we would summer over there. My partner grew up in Bremerton, so we were both from this area, but not really affiliated with the community. So in coming in here, I decided that I needed to be an integral part of this community. That if I was going to own a business in here and I wanted people to actually do business with me, I had to show them that I cared first enough to be a part of it. So it was get involved and join everything. So I'm in Rotary, as you said, I'm the president of the chamber. I'm the president of my BNI chapter. I'm on the board for Kitsap Pride.
Right.
I'm on the Eagles, and they want me to do everything. They found out I can cook and
Yeah.
all these other things that I just constantly do. But I see and meet a lot of people, and one of the great things that I found about it is I don't have to ask for business. I earn the right to earn somebody's business, to have them come and talk to me. And that's how I decided that was the business model that I wanted, because I'm here to help the community. I'm here to grow our agency and be a part of it. But if I'm not a part of here first, then
what's the value?
And what right do I have to ask?
Yeah, I love that. I think that this community can only be as good as we can grow within it, and all of us have a lot of value to offer that's outside and above and beyond what it is that we're out here selling. So I respect the hell out of what you're doing and how you're putting your time and energy, which is, in my eyes, one of the biggest investments that you can ever give to someone out here into helping develop this place. So thank you for what you do. And also thank you for inviting us down here to this office. It's a beautiful place. Chance is the man. Say hi, Chance.
Hello.
You got a great staff. I'm looking at all the awards. Definitely want to get some shots. And guys, if you have any questions, what's the best place for someone to contact you? Is it just call the office? Do you have a website? Like what?
Call the office. I have a website, but it's kind of hard to get there because unfortunately it's farmers branded. But
Got it.
You can actually search farmers agents on Google, and you'll bring up the 3 farmers agents on Google, and just click me, Victor Thompson. My face is on there. One of the nice things is I am actually a veteran, so I thought that was important in a military town to be a vet as well. And it states that I'm a veteran-owned business.
That's great. Yeah.
And my office manager, who is not here today, is also a vet.
Oh, that's awesome. Yep.
And if you ever get a chance to meet Holly, you'll never forget her. That Boston accent.
Oh, is she Boston? That's awesome. Yeah, so come, if you need anything automotive and all the way up to the umbrella, ping Victor Thompson or the agency down here right off Bethel and Lund. It's a beautiful place.
Business too.
Yeah, all things. I mean, just if you have
Everything.
questions regarding insurance, give them a call. Thanks for watching. Thank you for having us.
Oh, absolutely.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time.